I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but unless Ellis knows how to build a monster truck, we ain't driving through this.
Sorry, guys. Guess it wasn't such a hot idea after all.
God damn you, Jimmy Gibbs Jr.
That's not cool, Nick.
Hello everyone and welcome, my name is Andrew Can and together we can game. In the last episode of Can Play Left 4 Dead 2, we took Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s stock car from the passing, left the original Left 4 Dead survivors, and made our way to the highway here, where we can no longer take Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s car because of, well, all the cars on Highway 16. If you look right here, you can see Whispering Oaks Amusement Park and Fairgrounds.
Whispering Oaks? Shit, I used to go there when I was a kid.
Oh good, now we can die there as adults.
I love that little line of banter there because you get to see kind of like the childlike wonder of Coach getting excited to see a familiar landmark, and then the cynic Nick is just like, nah, we're gonna die there. But as you can see, next exit off the Highway 16 west, exit south Whispering Oaks Boulevard. West to Atlanta. Before we move on though, I do want to show off a little bit of Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s stock car. You can see it has been a lot more banged up since we last seen it. You can see blood, you can just see the scuff marks. And sometimes you can even see bullet wounds, kind of suggesting, or not bullet wounds, bullet holes, suggesting that people have been trying to take the car from us. Because, I mean, this is an apocalyptic situation. It makes sense that other survivors would try to take from us. Not in so much a sense that they're bad, it's just survival of the fittest.
Go on for miles.
That they do, and that is one of the things I love about this chapter. Very similar to Death Toll. From the original game, where we can see a lot of vehicles abandoned. And I think it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, we are in an apocalypse, and you never know where you're going to be, and these poor folks were just so happened to be on the highway. So, oh god, Nick, turn around! So as you saw Nick do there, if you shove one of your teammates, if they are in a situation like that, generally it will free them. I usually try to kill the special infected, kill two birds with one stone, but that's something I was asked why I didn't show that off. It is a technique you can use if you're low on ammo or you need to reload and you're right next to them. But generally, I personally
They were attacked in their cars.
I personally try to kill the specially infected. It's interesting that she said that they were attacked in their cars, because I've never really seen that. The cars kind of look pretty well intact. I guess that might just be a limitation, of course, of the game itself, that they really can't show that they were attacked in their cars just because of the sheer amount of cars that are here. But I don't know, I've always found that line pretty interesting. And it adds a little bit more world building. It's one of those, when the characters say it, you get to get a little more. So we're going to get off of Highway 16 here, take an exit. You know, in the US, a lot of the highways have these little side exits that take you off the main highway into kind of what I call tourist traps, and I'll post an image on screen of what I'm talking about. And it's kind of like where there's some gas station, there's hotels, motels, and just things like that. They're kind of tourist trap destinations in between and again, proving that shove mechanic as I was reloading. Again, just so happens to be proving my point. I was asked why I didn't do it, and now it's given me a lot of reason to do it. Okay, let's go ahead and reload. Didn't mean to shoot at them. Wanted to take that. But yeah, here's the tourist traps. I like how I get to show off mechanics I was bringing up, because just the game was like, yeah, probably do that. Alright, I'm gonna switch to adrenaline.
I say we head there.
And those are the searchlights she is talking about up ahead in the distance. So I generally, in this section, I try to keep pretty close to my team, try to keep a good distance and a good level head. So one thing I like about this chapter in particular, the highway, is that this chapter is called the Dark Carnival, and we've already kind of seen the amusement park sign up ahead. So we're kind of getting a little bit of foreshadowing. This is kind of the prologue. I'm the narrator, and this is just the prologue. I also like how we get to see the Midnight Riders only at Whispering Oaks. A little bit of foreshadowing of... Not today. Oh, I get rid of the hunter, but not the jockey. Go figure. Guys, really? Thank you. I watched them just not help. But one thing I will recommend you do, especially in this chapter, is try to get the higher ground here. What I mean, I'm gonna be a sniper like in the movies. You do you. I want to see if you have more ammo. Yes, you do. Always check. Sometimes they have more ammo than you do. So I like taking the higher ground here because I feel it gives me more control of the situation. I can kind of choose what I want. And here is Whispering Oaks Motel, the same motel we saw from the opening cinematic. So, if you're ever wondering, yes, I did mention that hotel and motel comment on purpose. More weapons, meaning more chances for ammo. I'm going to avoid that car because it has blinking lights, meaning I'm going to try to avoid a horde event if I can. Thanks, Nick. I'll try not to. As you can see, though, there are a good amount there. It's a good idea to get the high ground because it's not too easy for them to get to you. They can take that bus there, but even if you just keep moving, you can kind of cause them to have a hard time guessing where you're going next. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and use the adrenaline. I'm going to shove you and get this. I want to see if there's anything in the bathroom. Sometimes there are, sometimes there's not. See, this instance, it made more sense to take out the smoker than it did for me to shove him. So it's really just, you know, you play it on how you feel. I wanted to shove the hunter there. No way I wanted to take that on. Alright. Thankfully, we killed the charger. I want to check if there's anything in here. Not too much. I really like the look of these motel rooms. We got a nice single king here. It's got some really good space. A little bit of an older TV, but this was 2009 before LCDs were as popular as they are now, so makes sense. I also like how there's a propane tank in here. Easy to take out, you know, these enemies here. But I like motels. I actually don't mind motels. I prefer to be in a hotel if I can, depending. But motels aren't as bad as some people make them out to be. And let me know. Have you ever stayed in a motel? And if you have, what was your experience? You one of those leaping to the jockeys? Get the jock off. There we are. So my team made it downstairs, so I'm going to keep up here, because they're going to eventually make their way back to me. That's the goal. Take the pills! Let's go! They will eventually make it back up to me, but that wasn't my best stratagem. Now we do need to start making some moves because the reason we're getting swarmed as easy as we are is because we're not moving. So, gotta keep moving. To quote a band, St Motel, gotta get up, move! Some people only know them from the Nissan Rogue commercial, which is pretty popular. I guess I'll put a card on screen, though this is a weird segue. Back to... Oh, thank you, Nick. No promises, to be completely honest with you. So usually there's some weapons or ammo in here I want to see. Aha, both. And there is another health kit, so don't mind him using that to help me out.
Reloading.
I actually might switch. I'm going to switch to a shotgun. I think for moving forward, this will be the better situational weapon, so we'll go ahead and do that. Speaking of better situational weapon, sure was. So now we're going to make our way up here on this side of the motel. Try to check and clear the room.
Through this room.
Not this one, but there's a Molotov. Fire time is right. As you can see, kind of finding out whatever you want in the situation.
Explosive rounds here.
So explosive rounds is
Explosive
right.
rounds.
Alright, pick up that. Got some incendiary rounds as well. Want to make sure this hunter in here can't do anything. The jockey is taken out as well. 4 more fire bullets. Oh, I will go through the window. It's better to do that than to fall. Alright, so we can see more of the carnival. We approach. Of course, we have a charger. Get off him. Protected Nick. Even though that was more Ellis, I feel. But okay. I also like how you can see the pool.
Gotta find me some real first aid.
I mean, Nick, you're still in green health. You're kind of being a little weird there. But want to be careful as we get closer and closer Alright, so you can see more incendiary rounds. And I'll switch back. Might as well.
Some
I
frag rounds.
might as well have this as we go on.
Explosive rounds.
Hunter is interesting to see.
Yeah.
I do want to grab this as we make our way down here. Not today. Want to go ahead and light that up. And I like that you can see some of the pollution that the river is experiencing. It makes sense with all the dead bodies next to it. This river would not be blue. It makes sense. Also, coach is healing, so we want to be teammates. Make sure that we don't do anything silly or stupid. But it's me, so we'll do our best to just survive. Now, I really do like this chapter. I like most of the chapters, and you'll know
Pipe bomb here.
the chapter I'm not that big of a fan of. We'll get there when I talk about it. But I do like seeing more creative uses, and especially this time around comparatively to the first game, because this is the second game. I want to check in here. Sometimes it's first aid or helpful items. Not this time around. You get a lot more varied locations. The first game did a pretty good job setting everything up. That's pretty common for Half-Life games, or Half-Life games, Jesus, Valve games. A little ahead of myself there, huh? I feel like Valve games do a great job of the first one being a really cool premise and setup, and then they get better at their idea, and I am down.
Need some help.
For a second, I thought they were just watching me. Spitter goo got me. Thanks, Nick. So, going back to what I was saying before I got distracted, is I do think that Valve does a really good job of sequels improving on what they do in the first game. Yes, we do. Now, this level in particular, this entire chapter has a high spawnage of both tanks and witches. Now, I've been pretty lucky. Would knock on... Oh, of course! Literally, as I mention it. As I mention it!
Out of that thing.
Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay. Oh, there I go.
I'm reloading.
Okay. Can't really afford to be taken down anymore. Got the damn tank. So yeah, as I was mentioning the tank, of course, it had to show up. I think that's just the best telling. But here we are. Very close to Whispering Oaks. Just wanted to enjoy that fact, but you know what? Game was like, not on my watch. Charger is pummeling Coach.
Yeah, got him. Nice.
Okay. Want to avoid the car. Well, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. I mean, I think I've done pretty bad as well. I'm not that great, but here we are at Whispering Oaks Amusement Park. I thought one of them hit it. I was about to get so upset. But it's really cool to see this. Yes, we do. Whispering Oaks Amusement Park. So let's go ahead and make our way to the safe room. Not going to dilly-dally any longer than I have to here. Make our way in. Of course, the McDonald Group Construction Services. Personnel, hard hats, and eye protection. Shorts or tennis shoes allowed. Thanks. And of course, more Midnight Riders. Pistachio rules. And that's going to be it for this episode. That's going to be it for today. Let me know. What do you think about the Dark Carnival?
Yeah.
I'm curious to what you have to say. Of course, killed the most infected. That's going to be it for this episode. That's going to be it for today. Let me know. What are your thoughts on Rochelle as a character? What are your thoughts as the survivors? I'm just generally curious. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day.